Scripture defines becoming a man or a woman one way, the world another. Were it not for the people of God intervening in our lives as spiritual or even surrogate parents, many of us would be lost. But when we are led to our Father in heaven, our lives take a deciding turn. We join the family of God and take our place on the long list of generations privileged to follow Him. In doing so, we in turn become leaders, carrying His life with us and passing it to those who come after.
Most guys in the military are fatherless. They don't have a dad who spent time with them. They don't have a dad who is in any way the dad they were hoping for.
We have generations who have not had their fathers look them in the eye and tell them, I love you.
The reason guys joined the Marine Corps and didn't join the Army, they didn't join the Air Force, didn't join the Navy, was because they wanted to show that they were a man.
The privilege that we get in working with Marines is I get to look Marines in the eye and tell them that I love them. So we've been able to be family and be spiritual parents for these military people.
The Marine Corps is a particularly hostile environment. You're 18 years old, 19 years old, and most of these young guys haven't been discipled up to this point.
When I joined the Marine Corps, it kind of sent me for a while just kind of searching to figure out what I actually believe myself.
There's all sorts of temptations, probably more rampant, in this environment than elsewhere. You can tell I'm winning here. So. Right. One of the things that I noticed about Mike early on, the way that he talked about his relationship with Jesus, he was talking about hearing God speak to him, and that was like a foreign concept to me.
So I began to help him understand the good news of Jesus and His kingdom and how he could reach his fellow Marines with that. 4 weeks after I trained him how to do that, he introduced one of his buddies to Christ.
Jesse Cox discipled me, and since then I've been able to disciple some other Marines and individuals that God has connected me with.
You're in the barracks with these people who know Jesus all day long.
In February '99, I came to Camp Lejeune as a Marine, and that was when I met Mike shortly after that. One of the hallmarks of my relationship with Mike is that he has this little open room in his house, and I've told him everything about myself in that room. He actually became like a spiritual dad to me, taught me tons of stuff about following Jesus.
May the grace of the Lord Jesus be with you. Then amen. Isn't that good?
Mike Darnell came to Camp Lejeune, and John Martin was being trained by Mike. And I came as an enlisted Marine, and John got a hold of me then, and he's been discipling me ever since.
It's really important for me that our kids see people, young men, especially for my boys, who just are living for Jesus.
As I've gotten to know Jesse and others in this community here, I've just seen the wider ripples of this spiritual generations.
Because of Mike and Pam and how they've cared for me, I really want to do that and be that to other people, so other people will look at Jesus and think, wow, man, Jesus is awesome, man. If it wasn't for John and Sherry.
I've met Dave, who's the guy that discipled Jesse, and Mike Darnell discipled Dave. Just from what I've seen, Mike, Dave, Jesse, me, and others that I've discipled, so at least just 5 generations of followers of Jesus.
It's not just the next generation, we're influencing generations. We help them with spiritual disciplines so that they can reproduce themselves spiritually in the generations of others. And help them have vision to think, you're not just reaching your buddy, you're reaching his grandkids. And that's just cool.
This kingdom legacy continues to deepen in our military communities. That this isn't a work for the few and the proud, but rather those who are humble followers with a vision for reaching the generations.